What happens when the world's most powerful language model sits down next to every student in every classroom? This is not a hypothetical question, it's our new reality. With tools like ChatGPT, the core of our education system is being shaken. The kitchen table, once covered in textbooks, now glows with the light of an AI assistant. Is traditional schoolwork about to become obsolete? For students, AI is both an opportunity and a shortcut. For teachers, it's a disruptive force. We're at a crossroads, forced to rethink what it means to learn and show knowledge in an AI-driven world. The debate is clear. Will AI make homework a thing of the past? How must classrooms and families adapt? The familiar teacher-student dynamic now includes a third voice, an AI that knows almost everything. The challenge: integrate this new voice without losing the student's own. Join us as we explore how AI is transforming education from panic to innovation and what the future of learning might look like. The rise of AI in education has been rapid and dramatic. In late 2022, ChatGPT's launch sparked both excitement and fear, with schools rushing to ban it to protect academic integrity. But bans didn't last. By 2023, forward-thinking districts shifted from prohibition to pilot programs, training teachers to use AI responsibly. The conversation moved from, how do we stop this, to, how do we use this wisely? By 2024, district-wide AI pilots provided real data, paving the way for structured guidance. In 2025, UNESCO released global guidelines, making AI in education a worldwide policy issue. Now, countries are enacting AI literacy laws, making skills like prompt engineering part of the curriculum. In just 4 years, we've gone from panic to proactive policy. To understand where we're headed, we must look back at this whirlwind journey and forward to what's next. The direction is clear, AI is here to stay, and education is evolving fast. The journey is far from over. When ChatGPT arrived, many feared it would become a universal cheating machine. But reality is more nuanced. Most students use AI for brainstorming, not just copying answers. ChatGPT is a study buddy, helping kickstart essays, generate ideas, and break through writer's block. The key skill now is curation. Students must sift through AI suggestions and synthesize their own work. The focus shifts from memorization to selection and refinement. Of course, some still use AI to shortcut assignments, challenging traditional assessments. This pushes educators to rethink homework, moving toward assignments that require genuine understanding. Schools are adapting, AI detection tools are improving, but more importantly, assignments are being redesigned. In-class discussions, project-based learning, and oral presentations are on the rise. The goal: create assessments that require real thinking, something AI alone can't provide. The system is evolving to make learning, not just answers, the priority. For teachers, AI is a revolutionary assistant, slashing hours of prep and grading. Lesson materials, quizzes, and rubrics can be generated in seconds, freeing up time for real teaching. Teachers can now focus on supporting students, designing creative projects, and preventing burnout. AI handles repetitive tasks, feedback, project ideas, multilingual scaffolds, so teachers can do what matters most. But early AI plagiarism detectors cause problems, often flagging honest students and creating stress. These missteps taught schools a vital lesson: technology must be used wisely and ethically. The real challenge is training teachers to critically evaluate AI outputs and understand the limits of detection tools. Pedagogy must come before surveillance. The goal: make AI a co-pilot for teachers, not an infallible judge of students. With the right approach, AI can empower teachers and spark creativity in the classroom. The future of teaching is collaboration between humans and machines. The traditional worksheet is fading fast in the age of AI. Homework is being reinvented with 3 new models designed for deeper learning. First, process-captured assignments. Students record their thinking as they solve problems, showing their journey, not just the answer. Second, authentic projects. AI can't conduct interviews or gather real-world data. Students must engage with their environment and community. These projects build communication and problem-solving skills that AI can't replicate. Third, iterative portfolios. Instead of one final essay, students submit drafts, get feedback from teachers and AI, and reflect on their revisions. The focus shifts from perfection to growth and thoughtful use of feedback. Grades are based on engagement and improvement, not just a single submission. These new formats make homework meaningful, creative, and resistant to simple AI shortcuts. The future of homework is about the process, not just the product. In this new era, learning is personal, dynamic, and deeply human. Just as homework is evolving, so too are the methods we use to measure what students have learned. When any student can use AI to generate a perfectly structured essay in minutes, the traditional timed essay exam loses its validity. The era of assessment is shifting away from tasks that an AI can easily perform and toward methods that require students to demonstrate their understanding in dynamic and undeniable ways. The classic image of a silent examination hall is fading, replaced by varied evaluation tools more resistant to automation. This evolution is leading to a resurgence of older, more conversational forms of assessment. Expect to see the rise of the viva voce, where students must discuss their written work and answer challenging questions from their teachers in real time. Similarly, timed in-person coding exams or live pair programming challenges are becoming the new standard. These formats test not just the final output, but the student's ability to think on their feet and articulate their reasoning under pressure. Assessments will increasingly look like job interviews or project defenses, mirroring real-world scenarios. The tools for assessment are also becoming more integrated and process-oriented. These methods capture a rich stream of data about a student's skills, providing a more holistic view of their abilities. This shift is already being felt at the highest levels of education. The gatekeepers to higher learning are adapting their criteria, signaling a change that will ripple down through the entire system. Universities are beginning to ask applicants for a portfolio of their best work. Knowing the answer is no longer enough, you must now be able to prove how you learned it. As we integrate AI tools like ChatGPT into education, we risk deepening the digital divide. The promise of AI in learning assumes every student has reliable access to technology. However, the reality is different. Homework relies on high-speed internet, widening the equity gap. Students with access to the latest AI models will sharpen their skills, while others are left behind with outdated tools. This is an immediate crisis. Broadband availability is unequal, highlighting digital deserts. 1 in 4 US teens lack a reliable computer for schoolwork. The AI-rich will develop fluency, while the AI-poor are locked out, creating a new caste system. Addressing this requires a proactive approach from policymakers and schools. We need government programs and community initiatives like public AI kiosks. Equitable access is foundational for responsible AI integration. We must level the playing field, ensuring AI lifts all students. Failure would deepen social stratification. This is a responsibility we cannot ignore. The conversation around AI in education extends into student well-being. These tools offer an antidote to household stress from homework battles. An AI tutor available 24/7 can patiently explain concepts and guide students, reducing friction. This benefits their overall mental health. However, this convenience has a potential downside. AI tutors may curb the development of long-term resilience. The educational process involves learning how to handle frustration and overcome challenges. This teaches grit and problem-solving skills. If an instant answer is always one click away, they may be less inclined to wrestle with a problem themselves. Mental health experts caution that moderation is essential. Frame AI as a supportive coach, not a permanent crutch, used strategically for specific tasks. Teach students to recognize when they need help and choose the right tool. Empower students with AI, not to make them dependent on it. Educators and parents should establish clear boundaries and AI off zones. By preserving spaces for productive struggle, students build mental fortitude, harness the benefits of AI while cultivating the resilience that comes from overcoming genuine academic challenges. As artificial intelligence becomes deeply embedded in the educational landscape, the need for clear rules and ethical guidelines has become paramount. The initial chaos of bans and unregulated use is now giving way to a more structured, policy-driven approach on a global scale. Governments and educational bodies are working to establish a framework that can both harness the power of AI and mitigate its risks. These emerging policies are coalescing around 3 essential pillars designed to create a safe and effective environment for learning. The first pillar is transparency, mandating that students and educators clearly disclose when and how AI has been used in academic work, fostering a culture of honesty and accountability. The second critical pillar is the aggressive protection of student data privacy. As students increasingly interact with AI systems, they generate vast amounts of data, from the questions they ask to the essays they draft. This data is a valuable commodity for the private companies that develop these AI models. Consequently, new policies are being crafted to ensure that student prompts and personal information are not harvested for commercial model training or any other purpose without explicit, informed consent. Watchdog groups are rightly demanding that student work remains the property of the student, not the raw material for a tech company's next product iteration, safeguarding the digital rights of minors. The third and perhaps most forward-looking pillar is the integration of AI literacy into the core curriculum itself. It is no longer enough for students to be consumers of technology. They must become critical and skilled users. New state-level standards are emerging that require schools to teach prompt engineering, the art and science of crafting effective prompts to elicit desired responses from an AI. This skill is being recognized as a fundamental form of modern literacy, as crucial as reading and writing. The goal is to empower students to use these tools thoughtfully, ethically, and effectively, preparing them for a world where interacting with AI will be a daily reality. Together, these pillars of transparency, privacy, and literacy form the essential guardrails for the responsible integration of AI in education. They represent a shift from a reactive posture of fear to a proactive strategy of careful cultivation. The aim is not to restrict access but to build a system where AI serves educational goals without compromising student safety or academic integrity. This deliberate and thoughtful construction of policy is the necessary foundation upon which the future of learning will be built, ensuring that the technology serves humanity, not the other way around. Looking ahead to the end of the decade, the classroom of 2030 will likely look and feel fundamentally different from its present-day counterpart, shaped by the full integration of artificial intelligence. In this future vision, AI is not just a tool that students use for homework. It is a constant interactive presence in the learning environment itself. We can envision a classroom where a holographic AI co-teacher manages baseline instruction, patiently answering routine student questions, and providing instant personalized feedback on formative assessments. This frees the human teacher from the role of lecturer and allows them to become what they were always meant to be: a facilitator, a mentor, and a designer of profound learning experiences. With the AI handling the delivery of core content, the human teacher's role will morph into something more dynamic and relational. They will roam the classroom, facilitating hands-on group projects, leading Socratic seminars, and mentoring students in the development of critical citizenship and complex problem-solving skills. The teacher becomes the architect of the learning journey, creating the intellectual sandboxes where students can play, experiment, and build knowledge. Their focus shifts from information transmission to the cultivation of creativity, collaboration, and character, the uniquely human skills that AI cannot replicate but can help to foster. Homework, in this future scenario, will also complete its transformation. The worksheet will be a distant memory, replaced by immersive, exploratory tasks that blend the digital and physical worlds. A student might use augmented reality glasses to debug a virtual physics simulation in their living room, using voice commands to consult with a GPT-10 level AI for scaffolding and suggestions. Homework becomes a continuous cycle of asking, testing, and tweaking in a personalized learning environment. The AI's role is not to provide the final grade or the correct answer, but to supply the just-in-time support that allows the student to push the boundaries of their own understanding. Ultimately, the 2030 classroom will be a place where technology and humanity are in constant productive dialogue. It will be a space optimized for deep learning, where AI handles the mechanics of instruction, and teachers guide the development of the whole person. This is not a dystopian vision of automated education, but an optimistic forecast of a more personalized, creative, and human-centered approach to learning. By thoughtfully integrating these powerful new tools, we have the opportunity to create a system that is more effective, more equitable, and far more engaging for the next generation of thinkers, creators, and leaders. So, after this journey through the disrupted present and the imagined future, we return to our central question: will AI truly end school homework? The answer is both yes and no. It signals the end of repetitive, mind-numbing busywork. AI has exposed the weakness of tasks that can be fully automated, forcing us to discard assignments that value compliance over comprehension. What AI will not end, however, is learning itself. By taking over the routine, it creates space for meaningful intellectual labor. The future belongs to tasks that require skills AI can only augment, not replace. These are assignments that demand creativity, critical analysis, real-world collaboration, ethical reasoning, and personal reflection. The challenge is to design experiences that cultivate these uniquely human capacities. This transition represents an unprecedented opportunity to prioritize deep, authentic engagement. ChatGPT is the catalyst forcing a conversation about what we truly value in education. The next era of learning could be the most dynamic, personalized, and creative in history. The focus can shift to who students are becoming as thinkers, creators, and citizens. It is not the final chapter, but the explosive opening scene of a new one. The path forward requires a commitment to equity and ethical implementation. The end of homework as we knew it is something to be celebrated. It clears the way for an education system that prioritizes thinking itself.